When a river lost its voice, she became its echo. When a city turned away from its dying lifelines, she turned towards them. She walked into forgotten watersheds and came out carrying the entire ecosystem on her shoulders. Where apathy lived, she planted awareness. Where neglect ruled, she restored dignity to land, to water, to life. Over 22 years, she didn't just fight for the Noel, she healed it. She gave it back to us. This is all because one woman chose to care when it wasn't fashionable. A leader not built in boardrooms but shaped by rivers, rains, and responsibility. A woman who didn't ask for power, she earned it. A voice that doesn't rise to shout because her work already roars. Mrs.Vanitha Mohan, a distinguished entrepreneur and passionate environmental advocate from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. Mrs. Mohan is the chairman of Precall Limited and the managing trustee of Siruthuli, a non-governmental organization she founded with the mission of environmental conservation. Thank you very much for accepting to be a part of this podcast, ma'am.
Thank you, Shrikant. Thank you.
There are so many talks about, let us do this, let us do that in terms of trying to save our environment. But none have come to a point where they can actually say they have done something. Half of them, or actually I would say 90% of the people have left in between. So let us go to your roots. Let us start with the roots. What was your childhood like, ma'am?
The earliest memory of being with nature is the time I spent with my great-grandmother, where she introduced me to River Noel. Way back, maybe 60 years ago, 65 years ago, when I was a little kid. She used to take me to her farm, and she never used to let me go anywhere near the river because it was flowing throughout the year with so much of velocity. But the river was there. And I remember the moonlight dinners we had by the river, on the river bank. So she was my great-grandmother, a lady of grit and determination. So there's a lot of connection between her and the River Noel. And over a period, I think we just took River Noel for granted. We thought it will always be there, just believed that it will be there, and took it for granted. So I grew up, whereas the river started shrinking. So there was a time when we realized, where did the river go? When we went passing by the farm was sold eventually, and passing by the farm, there was a river here, there was some water here. Water was not there. There was no river. It was dry. It was full of vegetation. So that was the stark difference between what I grew up and much later in my life.
So that came to as a shock to you that, suddenly
yes,
something which was always there in your memories and suddenly that wasn't there.
Mm. But then I grew up in a home where both my mother and father were very, very environmentally inclined. My father was always worried about water. He said, we are wasting water. This is not going to be good for the future. So he was a person way back, he brought the drip irrigation from Israel. When people were flood irrigating their farms, he said, no, we are wasting water. So he brought in, he was one of the pioneers of drip irrigation in the country. Very quietly he went about doing it. And then my mother was a person who was passionate about trees.
About trees?
Yes, she kept planting trees. All she would talk about was trees.
Wow.
So it was water and trees that I grew up with.
So trees and water was basically your childhood, and you've seen it all throughout.
Yes, it was there behind me.
Of course.
Constantly.
So would it be correct to say that the influence of your parents made you realize the, how important Mother Nature is to us?
Very much, very much. The seed was there waiting to grow, and then when you're growing up, you have your thrills of life, college, getting married, children, then you forget about all that. But then the seed is growing, right? And when the opportune moment comes, then you realize, yes, the tree has grown and it's time to pluck the fruits.
But then, like I said, that there are many people who left on the way, and you said there is a course, a human being that once they're children, they want to do something. When they grow up, then they want to do something. At the end, they have done completely something different. Ma'am, for 22 years, you've been doing that every day, every hour. What is the fire behind it? How?
Because I feel we are running out of time. We are running out of water. We are running out of air to breathe. And I wish I had started much earlier than 22 years. It was already too late. There's so much more to be done.
In 1980, UNDP, United Nations Development Program, they said Coimbatore will be the fastest city to
Depletion of groundwater.
Depletion of groundwater. From that level to this level, what has changed in Coimbatore?
I would say, okay, 1980 it happened, and then 2003 onwards, end of 1998, 99, slowly the monsoon started failing, and then we had no water at 1200 feet, 1300 feet, it was just air was coming out of the bowels, and most of I grew up with Valangulam, which is right in front of our building, and it was becoming a garbage dump. There was water, so much of water when I used to go to school, and the water from there used to be a fine spray of, when the breeze was coursing through it, there was a fine spray of water which would fall on the windshield. That's how it was. That's why we had a lot of moisture in the air. The climate was salubrious. Coimbatore's climate was always known for, Coimbatore is known for its climate.
Yes.
And its sweet Sirvani water.
Of course.
But all that over a period of time started waning. And right in front of our eyes, Valangulam started disappearing, and passing by, I would wonder what's happening, where's the water? But then you have so many other things cluttering your mind, you don't think about it. As long as there is water coming out of your tap, you don't realize things are getting bad. But in 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, continuous failure of the monsoon, and there was no water. All you saw was serpentine queues of pots waiting for the corporation water tanker to come, people fighting for water, and then in 2003, the commissioner threw up his hands and said, we just have another 15 days of water left in the reservoir, and we don't know what we are going to do after that.
My God.
We'll have to pray for the rains to come. But what are we doing? When the rains come, we let it all go. We're not harvesting it. So we had done some work when CSR was not a buzzword then those days. On our own, in our company, Precol, we did some work for water.
Okay.
Some water bodies in and around our plants. And it was very small work, but it yielded a lot of results. We cleaned up water bodies, and then the adjoining well started yielding water. When water got stored in these water bodies.
Oh, so automatically there was
yes, water percolates,
result.
and then your wells automatically yield water. So then we approached the collector. A few of us got together and said we have to do something about water. And we approached the collector. At that point in time, collector said, you can't do anything about it because there is no water in the river. Then we asked him, why is there no water in the river? There is no water in the river. That's what he said. Then we traced back. We did a complete study of the entire river Noyal system.
Okay.
And what we saw was mind-blowing. truly mind-blowing. 400 years ago, 500 years ago, there were no JCBs, there were no Hitachis,
Correct.
there were no tippers. People single-handedly manually they created all these water bodies.
Right.
And they created these water bodies only because if Kaveri went into spate, one of the reasons was river Noyal.
Oh.
There was so much of water in the Noyal. So in order to stop the flooding, our ancestors created these water bodies. And how beautifully they had designed the anicuts. The anicuts distributed the water to all the water bodies, from one to another, and then finally, eventually the water would come back to the river. So there was no water wasted anywhere.
So our ancestors have already thought through that this is
So
going to
much
happen.
of forethought. The vision was amazing. And what did we do? We started using them all as waste dumps, sewage water dumps, and did not let the water go into the river. All the streams were all gone because they were not silted, they were all silted up, so there was no water coming in the streams. There are 34 streams which feed the river Noyal. 22 on the southern side, 12 on the northern side. But today hardly any streams. We have been able to revive a few streams. We still have a long way to go. But I'm sure once all the streams are revived, the river will start flowing like before.
So, if I would say about an inner calling, so when you saw all these, and when, like you said, the then Mr. Collector, whoever was there, the commissioner, when they had no answers, what made
No,
you?
but still obviously they had some belief in us. So they let us, they gave us the permission.
So they gave you the permission.
They gave us the permission. The chief secretary, who is
Yes.
Mr. Muruganandam, was
Yes,
the collector
yes, yes.
then.
Yes.
So he must have had, I think, Mother Nature worked through him.
100%.
God bless him for that. So he gave us permission, and when we went, took up the first water body, which is in the western part of the city, quite a bit of it was encroached upon. So we left that portion out. The unencroached portion, we started desilting. And that's when a lot of farmers in the adjoining areas, they came and said, you're wasting your time and your money. You have so much of money, you share it with us. Because we haven't seen water in this part of the city for a long time.
My God.
That's when we brought Dr. Rajendra Singh of Rajasthan, known as the Waterman of India.
The Waterman of India.
Yeah, he has revived quite a few dead rivers.
Okay.
Yeah, in Rajasthan.
Yeah, so he came
So
down.
he came here,
Okay.
and then we asked him. He just looked at the Western Ghats in the background,
Yeah.
and he was ecstatic. He said, if there's no water here, there's no water anywhere in the world.
True.
What are you talking about? You continue to do what you're doing. Keep your bartan ready, and your bartan will get full. That's what he said. And then we cleaned the channel which brings water to the water body. That's very important. It's like your arteries.
Yes.
It's literally like a bypass surgery, right? So when we cleaned the channels and the water body was desilted, with just 2 days of rainfall, the entire tank filled up. It was celebration time for Coimbatore. People didn't believe there was so much of water.
My God.
What would have happened to all that water if it had not
Yes.
been done? It would have just flooded the adjoining areas,
And that's all.
evaporated and gone.
Gone. So
So he taught us this mantra.
he taught you the mantra.
He said, where the water runs, when it comes tumbling down the hills, build check dams and make them walk. Let them not run. Make them walk. When it walks, make it stand in a water body. When it stands in a water body, it will start sitting in the earth, in the
Yes.
lap of Mother Earth. So beautiful.
So beautifully explained. I can actually,
You can visualize
it. Yes.
Yes.
While you were saying, I could visualize.
Yeah.
That's exactly what is happening. So while you were doing, Did you face any resistance from people who thought that, no, she shouldn't be doing it?
No, resistance is part and parcel of any activity like this, especially when it is something new.
Yes.
People think that, oh, they've got a political agenda, or they are doing it for publicity, right? So, yes, there were a lot of challenges. But when people saw water, seeing is believing, right?
Yes.
So when you see something and then you start believing, yes. That's when a lot of people started flocking in, and then they started helping us, believing in us.
So a lot of people came to you, and that's when Siruthuli was created.
We were a small group of industrialists who said, let's do something for water.
Correct.
In fact, our chairman, Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam, he said, when I was a little apprehensive, halfway, got some cold feet when people said there's no water here. He said, no, we come from a business background. We take business risks, right? So this is a social risk that we are taking. And we don't have, if we have tried, we'll take a risk. And if we are successful, we would have achieved something. If we are not successful, doesn't matter. It's going to be only our loss.
Okay, I have to ask you this because now failures are part and parcel of life. But what you were doing was mammoth. At that point of time, I'm sure there were a lot of failures on the way. How did you deal with them? Because in today's generation, people are really scared to, fail. They're like, no, I can't fail. I have a reputation. That reputation is pretty hollow in the market. What is your thought of, or what is your take on failures?
My take on failures, I think failures are stepping stones to success. Seriously. See, I come from a generation where we were made to fail. We were allowed to fail.
Allowed to fail.
Not made to fail, allowed to fail.
Allowed to fail.
Allowed to fail. And then we had to face the failure and come out of it. There was no hand-holding, pampering and mollycoddling. No. I still remember my mother when there was something which happened and I was weeping, and she said, no, you can come out of it, go face it, and you can come out of it. Then I said, what is this? Amma is not supporting me. But then I faced it and I got the confidence that I can face a failure. Right? But unfortunately, what I see in today's children is they are not allowed to fail. The minute, even if you think they are going to fail, everyone is around to support them, pull them out, and they don't know what failure is. So eventually, when they go out into the world, that's what I'm seriously concerned about, the present generation, the future generations. You have to face failures.
You have to face failures. Have to face failures, because then only you'll learn, you'll understand something.
And gives you a lot more confidence.
A lot more confidence.
Yes.
Well. So,
and that's something I learned from my husband also.
Really?
He is a person who will never say die.
Now that you've taken Sir's name, while you were doing this, while you were, in the middle of everything, did you face any pressure from the family that, what is this? Does it actually have anything?
If I had faced any resistance from my family, I don't think I could have continued. So I had the wholehearted support of my family.
How important in today's time is a family support who wants to bring about a change? Very important.
Very important. Sometimes you won't be around for important events in the family.
Right.
Then you'll have to decide between your passion and your duty.
Oh.
And if you say, my passion is more important, and there's something which is waiting for me, I have to be there. I don't have a choice, I'll have to. When the family understands and lets you go, not with full freedom.
Yes.
That makes a lot of difference.
That makes a lot of difference. Let's say now in a situation where in in current time when we see, there is the tangent of being with someone, and it is losing its charm. The patience level, what I mean is, now when someone talks about passion, did you lose your patience while you were pursuing your passion?
Yes, because this is something which involves a lot of people. It's not just you and yours, right? There's so many factors which go into, say, a project. Too many people are involved. But then the best thing would be to just be persistent about it and persevere and wait.
And wait.
Yes, it happens eventually. And that is something that I would say Mother Nature has been with us every step of the way. Every step of the way. I always say, when you walk, when you take one step towards her, she comes running, taking 10 steps at a time. We have seen that. We have virtually seen that at every step of our way.
India is it's developing really fast. It is doing really well in the global market as well as, the domestic part. We are, our education is doing pretty good. Still, the basic civic sense is still missing, and that is why our rivers, our places, our mountains are flooded with complete garbage. Where do you see this? Will India, try to resolve this, or do you see any improvement in the current section?
No, this is where we want the government to, because this is ultimately, it's a do or die situation. If your rivers are going to carry sewage, eventually what you're going to get is sewage to drink, and that's not going to be healthy, right? So it has to be made, we have to make it as a policy, shining example of how things transformed.
Correct.
Once it was made mandatory that people have to follow certain norms, and I think everything starts in the cradle.
In the cradle. That I totally agree. Now, when the young generation with the current generation, even me, I've seen a lot of people, dumping small things. Even if they sing in Hindi, they say itne mein kuch hoga nahi, or they will say this is not going to change anything. This is not going to be enough. How do you put that civic sense in them? That or what is that is lacking? How did it start? Did they see their parents doing something like that, or?
Yes, it happens. You see, when the father throws trash on the street, the child thinks it is most normal to throw trash on the street.
So
or you traveling in a fancy car, and then you'll throw something out of the car, and that's not done. Who's going to go clean up the mess on the road, on the highway, right? And we always say, today we have sanitary workers to clean your garbage. Now all the children are getting educated.
Right.
They are going to go to schools. They are not going to come back to this business. So who's going to clean your trash? So why not start teaching your children to handle trash properly?
So basically it should start at home itself.
The cradle.
The cradle itself.
Yes. And then schools have to enforce it. I know a school in Chennai, they don't allow a single piece of plastic, and the school is squeaky clean.
Wow.
Any time you go. The children have taken responsibility for it.
Ma'am, how do you differentiate that? Now the school is in Chennai. Let's say we take it to a extremely rural area. Even there, the same civic sense should prevail. So how do we educate the same sense in both the places, urban
so
and
unless
rural?
it is made mandatory as a policy, Kerala is doing it.
Okay.
Kerala, you throw trash on the streets,
Immediate fine.
you pay a fine for it. So it has to be made as made mandatory.
How is
Disposing
this?
of your garbage, disposing of sewage, all of this is very, very important. They have to be prioritized.
And how is this connected to Mother Nature, whether healing or going, still she's getting that torture? How is it connected that if we take care of our garbage, if we take care of our water,
She'll definitely be healed, no? Definitely it'll be a great sense of healing for your water bodies, for your rivers, for your channels. Because today we are letting sewage into the channel.
you've spoken about your personal failures as well. There is this moment in everybody's life where they have tears in their eyes because of something that they have experienced or something that has gone. Has there been a moment where you felt either tears of joy, either tears of pain, which has really moved you and you were like, okay, I'm doing good what I'm doing into?
First, the tears of joy came later. Tears where I was moved beyond words was we were doing the first project
Yes.
where people were discouraging us, and we were wondering whether we were doing the right thing. Then I went to the office one day morning. There was this envelope on my table which was full of mud and it was soiled.
Okay.
And then there was a letter inside written in Tamil which said, I'm a widow, but I have two beautiful sons. All the three of us go to work, and only if we work, we have food on our table. But still, I think the work that you guys are doing is so noble and so essential. It's not just for my three of us, but it's for the entire population. And it's great work that you're doing. So I would like to send both my sons to work in your project for 2 days in a week, pro bono. Now that was, even today, if I think of that lady, I haven't seen her, but I have tears in my eyes. And if we have water in all our water bodies, it is that lady's magnanimity which filled it. I still believe in it.
So that kind of passion, what she saw, the kind of work that you were doing,
She believed in us.
she believed in it.
Yes.
That is something absolutely incredible.
Then later, when the water body filled up with just 2 days of rain, there were tears of joy.
So the entire, Coimbatore was celebrating.
Absolutely. People came, lit diyas on the bank, and it was beautiful. And then there was this gentleman who washed toilets for a whole month. He earned 10,000 rupees and he donated it to us.
Donated it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
This is what I believe has made Siruthuli work.
So while you were talking, everybody were looking up to you, your team, and they were looking as, okay, they're doing something. Like every person looks up to their leader. What, according to you, is leadership?
Leader is one who is able to infuse confidence in his team members, in the people around him, give them hope, give them a purpose in life. I like to share an incident while talking about leaders. This happened maybe 35 years ago. There was a temple in one of the suburbs of Coimbatore. They were performing the consecration of the temple, and the entire village people, they were there. It's a panchayat. Okay, the people were there inside the temple, waiting for someone to come. And in a little while, all the people from inside the temple moved. So I was wondering, where are they going? So then I also followed them. Then when I went there, I found this person who had given life to that village by starting an industry, given employment to thousands of people. So for all of them, he was God.
Okay.
Now the God inside the sanctum sanctorum had been relegated to the second position. Now he was God. Now he's a leader, right?
That's a
A
great
person
example.
who has been able to give people hope in life, I think is a leader.
This was all happening right in front of your eyes that you could see. Now, when we come, most of the people who are in cities, they go back to the farm places. They say that this is a beautiful place. Let's be over here. Let's be over here. But every year, ma'am, we've started seeing Himachal Pradesh. We've seen it in Kodaikanal as well sometimes. We've seen it in Uti. As soon as, even Uttarakhand for that matter, Kashmir, during the season, peak season time, there are a lot of tourists flocking in all these places. And immediately, something or the other tragedy which is striking there. Why? The waters are polluted. If you go to Manali, I mean, it's a mess. Even sometimes if you go to Kodaikanal, you will find on the sides of, people are giving the cons. And slowly, I have seen it in the past 2 years itself. I mean, as soon as you enter Kodaikanal, there is this stream, there's a waterfall there. The water tends to become
Murky.
Yes, murky. Why aren't we realizing that even if we are educated, even if we are this, we are doing the wrong thing? At the end of the day, we are all will not survive.
That again, I would say, it's a policy. It has to become a way of life. The very same people who are polluting in Kodaikanal or Kulu Manali or wherever, when they go to Europe, don't they follow rules?
Absolutely.
Would they go and trash? Would they go and have a bath in the lakes there?
Never
Right?
they would do
So there are certain norms that have to be fixed and enforced. Enforcement is the only way to bring about a change. Nature is not a place to be abused. It is home. And nature heals more than anything else. Why do you go to a resort?
Yes.
Only to heal yourself, right? But if you're going to hurt Mother Nature, how do you heal yourself?
And that is why we have to always respect Mother Nature to
Respect.
its utmost
Yes,
form.
absolutely. To me, she's compassion incarnate. In spite of all the abuses, in spite of all the rubbish that you throw on her, she still continues to give you a weak smile and help you.
But she's become weak.
Yes,
She's growing weaker by the day. So policies, okay, one thing is policies, ma'am. Enforcement. I've seen with enforcement, there comes a lot of trouble as well. People will start telling in, no, they're too hard. Because again, somewhere down the line, everything is related to either vote banks or politics. As individuals, let's forget about the other side. As individuals, what should be our thought process? Let's say I'm a 40-year-old man now. I want to start something that I really want to give back Mother Nature. What is the slightest of the things that I can start with?
Start looking around your own life, small changes that you can initiate, very small changes. That's why we call it Siruthuli, small drop.
Small drop.
Right? Small changes in and around your life. You start doing it. Don't bother about who's doing it or not doing it. For instance, all of us in our team, we have taken a decision that we will not go to a wedding house or any function for that matter and use a bottled water. We carry our own bottle.
Own bottle.
All of us carry a bottle. Even if you go for a wedding, we carry a bottle of water.
Okay.
So we don't use that. So that one bottle is saved On my account it is
Okay.
saved. So we had a meeting of, in order to create awareness. You know, you can do a lot of work, but end of the day, if people are not aware, people continue to do whatever they are doing, and then you are trying to clean up rivers, it's not going to work.
So
So
true.
in order to ensure sustainability, we have this vertical called spread the word.
Spread the word.
Yeah. So we connect with the communities, we connect with schools and colleges. For instance, we have every Friday we have children coming here. Okay, maybe 50 to 60 children, which is how much this hall can accommodate. But we take them through the entire journey. And then the next time the same school comes, they carry their bottle of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
A
brilliant.
huge difference.
Change.
It's a small change. You start with baby steps, and then you can take leaps. So we had this meeting with the caterers, and then we told them, please stop. You can serve water in glasses,
Correct.
like steel glasses, like what we had
Yes.
earlier. But they said no. You know, some people even insist on a 1 liter bottle. So we said, even at 250 ml, people take one sip and then leave the water and waste. It is just it's plastic. Second, there's so much of water getting wasted. So there was this caterer who came back to us after 1 month. What he started doing was, he started emptying he didn't have a choice because his client wants
Right.
bottles. So he emptied all the water into a container, and then he used that water to grow saplings for us. So he came back to us with 200 saplings. And then he found a way of disposing of the water bottles also without any effect on the environment. So if this can start happening, it can make a huge difference.
Definitely.
That's why we say everything starts from home.
Ma'am, in the Indian culture, when we talk about, we've always given importance to water. We've always given importance to Mother Nature and everything. But now it seems like everything is limited to only doing puja. That's all. Actually, not believing in it. At the end of the day, when you see in the world, anywhere in the world, the biggest destructions are due to Mother Nature. You talk about
No,
tsunamis.
she's compassionate, but when she gets angry, her fury will eat you up.
Even
The recent Wayanad instance
oh,
is one where nature's fury was uncontrollable.
uncontrollable. Even very recently, I think Himachal Pradesh, where either Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand, where there was a landslide and they were swept. I mean, it was like, as if the humans were like small rocks on a road and they were washed away. So my concern is, or my idea becomes like that, if I want peace, I want to go to to the farmhouse. But I need my resources and everything there also. I need proper
My AC.
I need an AC. I need electricity. I need everything there. I feel that we're looking for wrong things at the correct places. Because if I'm going with my family for an outing, I'm looking like, okay, there has to be proper network, because if there is office which is coming in, I need to do the work, which is okay. But then I start realizing on the other things that luxury is actually killing. I need, for example, I need a house facing the sea view. Okay, I need entire palm ridge next to me. I need everything around me. But I am not thinking slightest that I am spoiling that entire area just because of my luxury attainment. This is also another major point which is being discussed not only in India, in every other place.
No, you see the amount of trash that people are recovering from the oceans.
Yes.
where the marine life is getting
Yes.
affected big
Yes.
time.
The trash is now being thrown back to the land. There have been many instances, even in Bombay. It's
coming back.
It is coming back. So, is there a sign that either you take care of it or we take care of it?
Definitely. Definitely.
So, it's a very scary and a precarious situation for the humans not to understand how important your lifeline is.
Very important. And then, why did they say that you need 33% green cover for humans to live?
Yes.
Anywhere you live, you need 33% green cover. But what are we doing? We are building buildings end to end with hardly any space for water to percolate. We used to have a lot of open spaces
Yes.
where water would percolate.
Yes.
You know, recently there was this reporter who asked me, why do you insist that everyone has a rainwater harvesting structure installed in their homes? Why should individually people harvest rain? You can let it go into the road and it will go into a nalla and then eventually reach the water body. So why do you insist? I said, okay. I think whatever falls in my area, within my property, is my water.
Yes.
So why should I let it go? No, but anyway, it's going somewhere. I said, okay, fine. One day God decides to shower gold coins instead of water. Would you let it run off into the streets? He said, no, I'll grab even my neighbor's gold coin. I said, this is going to be the blue gold of the future when your yellow gold is going to pale in comparison. Blue gold is going to be so difficult to get that you're going to be running after it.
You did mention, and it's a very, very strong statement where you mentioned that soon water will be more expensive than gold.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even now in many places it is
very.
valid. Today I have the money, I can buy it.
Yes.
But how long?
Where the drought hit places, where they're, waiting for long hours, not only in India, in other places also, Africa. Africa is also a very drought hit place. But still, somewhere down the line, I also feel it has to do with a lot of culture essence in our mindset as well. The more cities are becoming more multicultural, we are forgetting the cultural part, but we are doing multiplying in terms of getting all the different ideas. We should do this, we should do that. But unfortunately, we are forgetting that life comes from Mother Earth, Mother Nature, water, which we are polluting to such an extent that very soon we will not have water to even drink.
And it's only dirty water which is going into
Yes, dirty water which is going in, at the same, it is being recycled, but how much can you do that? You said that, how do you nurture hope when the world around seems absolutely indifferent, particularly to Mother Nature, when you see like a child just throws and just goes off, doesn't really care. What is that? What do you feel like doing at that moment?
See, a child she or he is only doing what he or she has been taught. Or he is only emulating someone else.
True.
Right? So I just feel sorry for them. Wherever I can, I try to, cajole them and say, let's not do this, let's throw it in. Make it a game.
Make it a game.
And then the children will follow it. In Japan, how is it happening?
Yes.
Children, the dignity of labor, the dignity of keeping your place clean starts from their homes. And then it's enhanced in the schools.
Absolutely.
When they go to the schools, even in a kindergarten, they start with cleaning the school.
So that is where
So
it should start.
there's a sense of ownership.
Yes. Sense of ownership.
There has to be a sense of ownership.
How beautiful.
This is not a city, this is not a town. This is my home. When you start saying that, you don't want to keep mess up your home, right? You
Yes.
want to keep it clean.
Yes.
So clean, you keep your city also clean.
So true. At this point of time, ma'am, like most of the younger generation, they're working as well, right? While you were doing all this thing, there always been a lot of restriction on women, particularly on women. You can't do this, can't do that. You have to do this. The end goal of a woman is to get married, have kids, and stay at home. But you are one of the pioneers in, proving all that wrong and coming forth. Not only business, you're also taking initiative in the social work and making sure that the river which is lost, you become a voice for it. What do you have to tell? There are so many still houses in India particularly where such voices are completely compressed. You are a person that people are looking up to. What do you tell such women, or what do you want to tell such women that that they get so inspired that they start following their heart, how you did?
See, today women have to work. That has become a economic necessity.
Yes.
Most of the cases. But at the same time, I think what I tell people is home comes first. When you have a happy home, when you have a home which is secure, then you have that freedom to go and work. But when you are constantly running and then making ends meet, this becomes a chore.
My God, so beautifully put. Never thought that you could look at it this way as well. Mother Nature is always giving us back as well. A lot of love. A lot of love. Do you believe that healing the earth heals the human spirit too?
Of course, without any doubt. Recently I read an article about how nature is the best healer. You can go to the best of hospitals, but being in a place where when you hear the sounds of birds,
yes,
and then you hear water flowing, that heals your mind and your heart much better than all your drugs and medicines. So you have to have that keep it alive. Only then you can go and to a place where it can heal you. But if you're going to go and misuse that place or whatever, then it stops. Its healing properties disappear.
I mean, there are so many things that we still want to talk about, but I do think that it is practically impossible for a human to keep a balance like how you have done, with work, with family, with your passion, and not only that, with your people who are working in the team and keeping up the same, the spirit high. How do you do it? Every day when you wake up, that same fire burning inside, what's the...
No, when I see, it's making me emotional. The first thing that comes to my mind whenever I feel a little low is the sparkle in my grandchildren's eyes.
Grandchildren's eyes.
I want it to stay. And that will stay only when they have enough water, they have enough air to breathe. What is the use? Tomorrow I can create a lot of wealth and property for them. Then they come back and say, Amma, you've given us everything, but I don't have water to drink. I can't breathe, give me some oxygen. Can I do that? So that's the only thing which keeps me driving. Especially when the children come from the schools, different schools, they come here. The sparkle in their eyes, there's so much they're looking forward to life. That shouldn't be snuffed out because of abuse, neglect.
And that is why I think you are so different from others, because the thought, the idea, the love the care, the way you have given to Mother Nature.
We did one project here
Okay.
on the way to Pollachi.
Yes.
That was 350 acres.
Okay.
It's Ukadam.
Okay.
Ukadam. And when we went and told the commissioner, he said, no, there's no water body there. He said, sir, we have done a survey. It's 350 acres right in the middle of the city. And it was literally a jungle. Okay. So then he gave us permission. Reluctantly he gave us permission. So we started cleaning up. We cleaned up all the vegetation. The minute we cleaned up the vegetation itself, the whole place just opened up. Imagine 350 acres right in the middle of the city. So what we decided was, okay, the machines are working, so let us go add a human element to the whole thing. So every Sunday, whoever is possible, we'll ask our family to come. We'll go and just do some kar seva. So first Sunday we expected about 200. What happened was, previous to that, 2 days previous to that Sunday, there was a universal brotherhood, whatever you call it, multi-religious meeting, inter-religious thing. Then the Swamiji said, so let's all get, there were Muslims, there were Christians, all of them were there. So then he said, let's celebrate festivals like Diwali and Ramzan and Christmas. We'll all celebrate together. So everyone said, yes, great idea. I said, people are already doing that. So why don't we all engage ourselves in a community activity? So when we do that, there will be a lot of bonhomie. You'll be doing something. Correct. Not just go and cut a cake and eat sweets and come back.
Correct.
There will be some involvement, you know.
Yes.
So then they said, yes. So I said, 2 days away, 2 days from today, Sunday, we are having this event. So whoever wants to come and join us. You will not believe the number of Muslim ladies wearing burqa who came. We were expecting 200 people. We had close to about 2,000 people.
Goodness me, 10 times more.
People were there, and little children, they brought little trucks, and then they were trying to remove the silt. And so this went on for about 5, 6 Sundays. By the end of the last Sunday, we had more than 10,000 people. We had police people coming. So many people came and participated.
Really?
Yeah. And then it was southwest monsoon was not scheduled at that point in time. You will not believe it. It poured and poured and poured. That's why I say she responds like she comes running towards us when you just take one step towards her. The whole place filled up. The whole 350 acres filled up.
350
So
acres.
later on, recently, one of the children who came and participated, I believe he had grown older, of course. So he told his father, I did this.
It's a proud thing he feels.
Yeah.
Connected.
A sense of ownership.
Yes, sense of ownership. That is one thing that we all need to learn, sense of ownership of doing the correct things, of course.
So it's not about, okay, today I'm living in Coimbatore, tomorrow I go to Tirupur. Wherever I go, it's offering, it's giving me everything.
Yes.
It's giving me air, it's giving me water, all my essentials it's giving.
Any place in the world
is
have
home.
that. Yes, any place in the world is
and
home.
you have to reciprocate that.
Yes.
Whatever you get.
It is my pure honor to have you over here, because your story will not only inspire others, it will go to generations. Because when I was reading, when I got to know what all you have done, I mean, probably like a person like me would take, I don't know how many years to understand what is happening. But for a very long period of time, and still you say that I wish I had done this earlier. I just can't tell you how blessed we feel that we have people like you over here, ma'am. In today's time, today's generation, they want to do something very similar to what you're doing, or achieve even 10% of what you're doing. They are looking at you right now. What message would you want to give it to them, ma'am? You can completely directly tell it to them.
Of course you can do it. Because human life basically is filled with compassion and love. Life is love. But somewhere along the line, it's getting masked. If you only learn a lesson from Mother Nature, because compassion is her language. Compassion. The more we heap rubbish on her, she still smiles at you and exudes love. So let's learn from her to give and give and give. We'll never lose by giving. But if you continue to keep taking without giving, there's a lot that we will lose. So let's learn from her, being compassionate and being loving.